The morning light rises softly across the horizon. The world wakes, but you can still feel the weight pressing down on your chest. You have carried invisible pain for far too long. Pain that no one understands, wounds that no one sees. You have smiled in rooms where your heart was breaking. You have prayed, wondering if heaven was still listening. And yet, even now, before this day begins, I want you to know this. I have seen every tear. None of them were wasted. I am not distant from your pain. I am not ignoring your heart. I was there when it shattered. I heard the sound that no one else could hear. I saw the exact moment when hope slipped through your fingers and silence took its place. You thought I was gone, but I was standing in the shadows, holding you when you couldn't hold yourself. You survived nights that should have destroyed you because my hand never left your life. I am the God who heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. I do not rush the process. I do not cover the pain with false peace. I heal by sitting beside you, speaking peace into every crack. I take your pain and press it into purpose. I take what the enemy meant for destruction and turn it into direction. Every scar you carry will one day testify that grace was stronger than grief. You have asked me, when will I feel whole again? And I whisper, when you stop running from the process and rest in my presence. You do not have to fix yourself. You do not have to pretend that you are strong. Strength was never your responsibility. It has always been mine. You only need to breathe and let my love reach the places you have hidden from everyone, even yourself. The world may tell you to move on quickly, to forget what happened, to fill the silence with noise. But I tell you this morning, be still. Let the quiet become sacred again. Let the silence speak of my nearness, not my absence. Healing begins when you stop fighting the very stillness where I dwell. You are not alone in this room, not in this morning, not in this life. My spirit surrounds you even now, breathing life into the parts of you that gave up long ago. You think your heart is beyond repair, but I have rebuilt people from ashes before. I have turned graves into gardens. I have called dry bones to live again. What you call broken, I call becoming. You are not being undone. You are being remade. Every morning you wake is another chance for me to show you that what I started, I will finish. The story is not over. The chapter of pain is giving birth to purpose. So lift your eyes from the floor. There is still light ahead. The darkness has not won. It never will. Even now, I am binding your heart with threads of mercy that cannot be torn. You may not feel it, but healing is already happening. The wound that once screamed now whispers peace. The ache that once ruled your days is losing its voice. My presence is your medicine, and this morning, I am healing you from the inside out. Do not mistake delay for denial. Just because you have not yet seen the full healing does not mean I have not begun it. The deepest works I do often happen in silence. While you are waiting, I am weaving. While you are crying, I am creating. Healing does not always arrive with lightning and sound. It often comes like dawn, slowly but surely, chasing the darkness away one ray at a time. You don't notice it all at once, but before you know it, the night is gone. I know the days when you wake and feel like you are still standing in the ruins. You look around and wonder if you will ever see beauty again. You question whether your heart can still love, whether your faith can still trust, whether your spirit can still rise. But I am the same God who created light out of nothing. I am the same God who formed man from dust. I can rebuild you from what was broken. You don't need to understand how. Just believe that I will. There are moments when I let the wound stay open a little longer, not because I want you to hurt, but because I want you to lean. If I healed you too quickly, you might walk away from me before you understood what dependence truly means. But when you stay close, When you let my presence become your breath, healing becomes permanent, not temporary. This is why I tell you to stay still. Stillness is not an activity, it is intimacy. You have tried to numb yourself to avoid the pain, but numbness only delays the cure. Feel again. Cry if you must. I am not afraid of your tears. Your tears are prayers in liquid form, carrying words your heart cannot speak. Each one lands on my hands and becomes a seed for your future joy. I have not wasted a single one. What fell from your eyes will soon rise as peace in your spirit. You may look at yourself and see fragments, but I see foundation. Every broken piece is being placed precisely where it belongs. I am building something new out of the old. The pain that once isolated you is now preparing you to comfort others. You will speak from your scars one day, and others will find healing through your story. This is how I redeem suffering, not by erasing it, but by transforming it into testimony. You have said, I am tired, Lord. I cannot go on. But I am the strength you seek. You don't need to have it figured out. You just need to hold on. My hand is under your weakness, lifting you when you cannot lift yourself. You will make it through this, not because you are powerful, but because I am faithful. The storm that was meant to break you is revealing what could not be shaken. Your roots are going deeper. Your faith is being refined. This is not the end. It is the beginning of your becoming. Now, take a moment and breathe again. Breathe in my peace and let go of the pressure to perform. Healing is not a race to finish. It is a relationship to experience. I am not asking you to impress me, only to trust me. Rest in the truth that I have not forgotten you. Even when the world moved on, I stayed. I am nearer than the air around you. I am the whisper that still calls you by name. I am your healer, your keeper, your morning light after a long night of tears. The time is coming when you will look back and realize this season was sacred. The pain that made you question everything will be the very ground where new joy will grow. You will see how I turned every setback into setup, every wound into wonder, every delay into divine timing. You will stand where you once wept and say, God never left me. That is how healing feels when it is real, quiet, deep, unshakable. You have walked through enough nights to know that pain is real. But now, it is time to learn that healing is real too. You have seen what brokenness can do. Now you will see what grace can rebuild. There's no scar too deep that I cannot turn into beauty. Every cut in your soul is being filled with light. The same places where you bled will become the very places where my glory shines. You are not the same person you were when the pain began. You are softer, but stronger, quieter but deeper. The tears have carved wisdom into your spirit. You no longer chase quick answers because you have learned to value presence over explanation. You understand now that my silence was never absence. It was protection. I was preparing something far greater than the closure you thought you needed. I was preparing peace. Let me remind you what healing really is. It is not the removal of pain, but the restoration of purpose. It is not about forgetting what happened, but about no longer being controlled by it. Healing means you can remember without reliving. It means the memory loses its sting. The wound becomes a story of survival, and the story becomes a song of redemption. That is what I am doing inside you today. I have heard your late-night questions. I have seen the empty spaces where faith once stood. And yet, I say to you now, I am still here. The promise has not expired. The vision has not died. What I planted in you years ago will bloom again. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead is alive in you. That power does not just resurrect bodies. It resurrects hearts, dreams, and hope. You will rise again. And when you do, it will be with peace that cannot be shaken. The healing I bring is not fragile. It does not depend on circumstance or people. It is anchored in my character. I am faithful even when you are weary. I am steady even when you tremble. You will see my goodness again in the land of the living. Do not give up now. You are closer to restoration than you think. Every morning that you wake and whisper my name, the light grows stronger. Every act of surrender breaks another chain of despair. You are being set free moment by moment. Now, let me speak to the deepest part of you, the part that still doubts if healing can really last. You have been disappointed before, so your heart braces for more pain. But hear me, this time is different. This time, the healing is not temporary, it is eternal. I am not patching you. I am recreating you. I am not just healing your heart. I am renewing your identity. The person who once lived in fear is gone. What rises now is someone built on faith. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the weight begin to lift. The fear, the regret, the guilt, they are losing their grip. My spirit is breathing inside you. Your heartbeat is syncing with heaven's rhythm. This peace is not fleeting, it is forever. This is what it feels like to be whole again, to rest without fear, to love without hesitation, to believe without doubt. This is the miracle you have been waiting for. Now let us pray together. Father, thank you for this listener. Thank you for every broken piece that you are turning into beauty. Let your presence fill the space they are in right now. Let peace replace panic, faith replace fear, and purpose replace pain. Remind them that you have not abandoned their story. You are writing a new chapter, one filled with joy, courage, and healing that lasts. We trust you, Lord. Even when we don't understand, we know you are good. And now, repeat these words quietly. I am healed. I am whole. I am loved. I am held. Today I walk in peace. If this prayer touched your life, come and healed, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear that God still restores hearts. Return tomorrow morning for another message of faith and renewal. Until then, walk in light, rest in grace, and remember, healing has already begun.